very common problem that patients come into clinic with is headaches or migraines or dizziness or even vertigo. Lots of times the patient can have headaches or ongoing migraines or vertigo, dizziness, because the neck curvature is really what dictates that problem. So let's say, for example, a patient has a good neck curve like this, then there's definitely going to be less chance of the patient having recurring migraines or headaches. But if the patient has either a very straight spine or even a reverse neck curve, so for example, rather than curving like this, it curves the wrong way, that is potentially what can very commonly cause a lot of long-term headaches or dizziness and migraines. How that happens is that because the curvature is curving the wrong way, it can start to cause a lot of tension with the spinal cord, and that extra tension and stress can then start feeding up into the brain, and that can then cause a lot of headaches. The headaches can be anything. It could be one-sided, it could be bilateral, it could be frontal, it could be suboccipital, or it could be on top or even temporal. Anytime that there's any type of headaches is not a good sign. It's always usually a sign that the nervous system is inflamed to a certain degree, and we want to try to reduce that inflammation. So from a chiropractor point of view, we want to try to look at the whole spine. Even though it may be a neck curvature problem, it may be actually problems in the mid-back or even the low back. That can also cause the problems with a migraine. So there's no specific area that we adjust specifically for a migraine or a headache, but we want to look at the whole spine in general, and we want to try and get everything working well. If we get everything working well from a spine point of view, then hopefully that will then start to improve the curvature with the neck and then take away tension and strain. What we want to see is that even if someone has real bad chronic headaches all the time, our goal is to try to reduce the frequency. The first goal is always reduce the frequency. So let's say, for example, someone has a headache like 3 to 4 times a week. We want to try to reduce it down to once or twice a week. If we can do that, that's always a good sign that hopefully they will get more recovery later on. And also the intensity. The intensity and the frequency are the two important things we want to try to help the patient with. What I mean by intensity is that, for example, the patient can get a build-up of pain, for example, in the left suboccipital region, and it keeps throbbing, especially in the afternoon. Lots and lots of pain, throbbing. You start to get a bit of nausea. As a goal, we want to try and reduce that frequency and intensity. So what I mean by that is that rather than the real throb being really pounding, the patient may still experience the same region, but it should be lessened in terms of the frequency and intensity. Okay, so that's a good sign that the adjustments are starting to take effect, and hopefully over time we can start to minimize it more and more.